Boy, I used to be a monster. I was tweaking, had my mama going bonkers. Yeah, you probably.
Hey guys, it's Chelsea from the Smart Cookie Files, and today I wanted to do 25 bookish facts. So, without further ado, here we go. Okay, number one is that my favorite book of all time is Waiting for You by Susan Calasanti. I like this book for many reasons. I think I went into a 2-minute discourse about this on my last book tag video that I did. I think Reading Habits. So I'll post that link in the description so you guys can check out all about why I like Waiting for You by Susan Calasanti. Oh, okay. Never mind. Okay, number two is that the first book I ever remember reading and loving was The Terrible Eek, and I actually have a copy of that. I bought it from my dad because he was the one that used to read it to me, and I used to have a hammock in my backyard, and when I was real little, and we used to lay there, and he used to read to me. And that was the first book that I loved because it was just funny and kept my interest. Okay, number three is that I used to surpass my goal every time I would do the summer reading program at my local library. I used to always say I'd read 15 books, and then I would read 30 books because I just loved to read, etc. So the librarians were obsessed with me because I always would get the top prize for surpassing my goal and stuff. Fact 4 is that I actually prefer paperbacks or hardcovers, like physical books, over ebooks. Even though ebooks are becoming the trend, and actually a lot more people are publishing and just getting ebooks published, but which I don't mind reading ebooks. I have a tablet which I use, and then I use my Kindle app to read the ebooks, but I actually prefer to read the paperbacks or hardcovers because then you can I don't know, you just are staying off technology, so then you don't get distracted by the little notifications that come up, etc., or social media. Fact 5 is that in that same way, I prefer hardcovers over paperbacks because paperbacks get all old, then the covers rip off, and hardcovers usually last longer, so that's why I prefer them. But they are the most expensive to buy, but oh well. I typically prefer them. If I'm going to buy the book, I try to get hardcover. Fact 6 is that I actually keep a notebook nearby when I read for multiple reasons. One is that sometimes I come up with an idea for my own story based on something that I read or something that a character said in a book that I'm reading. Another reason is because I like to keep track of quotes. Some stories have super good quotes. And then another reason is that I actually am one of those nerds that if I don't know a word, I'll write it down on the notepad, and then I actually go and look it up in the dictionary and learn what it means. And then sometimes I'll even write out the definition in the notebook and or on the notepad, whatever. But that's if I'm really if there's a lot of words that I don't know, because I just like to increase my vocabulary. It only makes me a better writer and a smarter cookie. Fact 7 is that I actually have stacks of bookmarks throughout my whole house in various places. I think there's some in my desk. There is some in my bin where I keep my books that I'm going to be reading. And then I'm pretty sure there's some on my table where I have all my Justin Bieber books. I actually have a stack of like Justin Bieber books, like all of his books that he wrote or like books about him. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm a pretty big believer. I actually don't like to write in the books, even if I buy them, because it just feels like I'm like tainting them, and then it takes away their essence, and like it's weird. But usually I'll get like sticky notes like this, and then write notes on top. Talk about it, espresso yourself, right, guys? But and then I put them on the page where I want to have the notes, or like if that page had like something insightful, and then this way I don't write in the book. But in that same way, fact 9 is that I actually do highlight some books because I just like the colors of the highlighters, and then also, and I like to like switch it up. Like I'll be like, oh, this should be pink, this should be orange, yellow, whatever. I actually have like these highlighters that are of various colors, that they even have purple and red, and they're by Sharpie, I think, and they come in like an actual case. It's like totally nerd swag. But a lot of my Joyce Meyer books are pretty highlighted up because she has a lot of insightful points in her books. My favorite genre of any is romance. And when I say romance, I mean any type of romance, like adult romance, young adult romance, and now I started to like new adult romance, and I've been told that my book is now converging from young adult to new adult. It's like kind of crossing the line. It's like between the two lines, two genres, and so I don't know how that's gonna work out, but either way, whatever you look at it, romance is my thing. I just like the lovey-dovey stuff. But fact number 11 is that my second favorite genre is adult fiction. Like, I actually enjoy reading. Daniel Steele, I've read, Nora Roberts, I'm pretty sure I read somebody else, but I can't remember who they were, which is kind of sad. But because I mostly read like for young adults and that market, because that's the kind that I want to write in. But adult fiction. Fact number 12 is that my third favorite genre is memoir. I just like reading people's stories, and then I guess that's what helped me decide that I wanted to write my own memoir. And I've actually completed it. I'm trying to query it, get an agent, but if I don't end up getting an agent, I will probably just publish it myself through CreateSpace or Kindle, or like one of them. One of the ones where it's like free to get it all set up, but then you you have the book. Fact number 13 is that I crush on fictional male leads. I actually crush on them. Because, like, if the writer is decent, they come off the page and they actually are living and breathing right in front of me and in my mind. I believe them to be real, and so I tend to fall in love with them slightly. Even the bad guys sometimes, but mostly, like, for instance, Nash in Waiting for You. Totally fell in love with him. Uh, there's been others, but I can't really. Oh, Ned and Nancy Drew. And like, oh, and then most recently, like my character in my book that is like the male lead, Ryan Snyder. I just have a thing for him. I don't know what to tell you. It's not because of who he's inspired by, but because of the way I wrote him. He's just like a dream guy. But I guess that's what makes him the perfect male lead. Fact number 14 is that I can read a book in one day, and I have before. A lot of the books for the Smart Cookie, like, I ended up getting behind in the reading, and then I just had to sit there and read the whole book, and if it was good enough, then I just sat there and read it, and that's how it goes. Like, a lot of people that know me, they're very amazed that I can do that, but a book is a book, and if it's really that good, you're gonna want to sit there and read the whole thing. I actually, when the first Twilight movie came out, I actually had to read the whole first book the night before. I stayed till like 12 midnight to read the whole book, like all, 400 and some pages that it is, like, because it's really thick. And I remember I read that just so that I could go see the movie the next morning. It was like on a Friday night, and then I was going Saturday morning for like the matinee because it was like $5 movies. And so I went to go see the opening of the first Twilight, and I needed to do that. In the same frame of reference, I tend to read a lot of books. I read books for personal reasons, like for Bible study. I read books from personal reading because I want to read that book, and then I also read books for the Smart Cookie. So, and most recently, I had four books, no, three books that I was trying to read for November, and two of them I couldn't even read it because it was like not that good. So I just didn't finish it, and then the review was just my Goodreads review. I don't usually review the book for the site if it's super not something I like. Fact number 16 is that I like having white noise on when I read. And most recently, I discovered that YouTube has a total section where they just have white noise videos. Like, you can listen to plain white noise, like for a plane flying, air conditioner, oscillating fan, ocean waves, rain, thunder, a waterfall, like whatever you want. Like, you just look up white noise on YouTube, and you can find all these different ones because they have ones for yoga and for just for study, and then for sleeping too. I actually use one for sleeping, the oscillating fan one, because I just have to have enough white noise when I sleep so that I can stay asleep. Because I'm actually a light sleeper, and I tend to wake up at the slightest noise. So if there's enough white noise that blocks out everything else, then I can sleep soundly. Fact number 16 is that 17, sorry. I usually drink coffee when I read because I tend to, if I don't sip coffee or drink it while I'm reading, I tend to either get distracted or just plain, like, if I'm like really comfortable, I'll like doze off. So I tend to drink coffee so that I can stick with the story. Of course, some books don't need a lot of coffee. More, some books need more than others, and so. Fact number 18 is that I am a professional book reviewer through the Smart Cookie Files, and that's my site that I started because I was trying to get a PR opportunity as either a publicist or a author or musician. And so I review books primarily. Then there's music that I do reviews for, and then I also have started doing sponsored posts through there, like for brands that want to pay me for doing a post through there. And I also have recently started Smart Cookie PR, where I basically can do all your PR for you and basically become your publicist, and then you pay me, a set fee, and then I can do about 13 months of service, and then we can go from there. Like, I can set up a contract. So if you are an author, musician, or somebody that just wants your work known and spotlighted, I can do that for you. So please let me know by emailing me. See the email in the description box for more on that. Other than pet photography, my favorite photography is bookish photography. Like, I love bookshelves and, like, when people post their reading nooks and, like, you see the steaming cup of coffee and then the stack of books. Like, that's just like a beautiful photo, and the aesthetics are just like, it makes me want to like read all those books in the photo and drink the coffee. Like, I just feel like I'm whole when I look at photos of it, as well as like reading and drinking coffee myself. Like, it just feels like I'm not alone, that people like books as much as I do. I have never read the Harry Potter series all the way through. I tried to read the first book when I was in 5th grade. Didn't like it. The guy I liked it, so I said, I guess I have to see what this is all about. But I couldn't even get past like the first 5 pages. And so, like, I honestly, no offense to anyone that likes Harry Potter, but I don't understand why J.K. Rowling is like the idol of writing. I don't. Like, I mean, I understand there's themes throughout the books that speak to a larger cause, but, okay, J.K. Rowling did a good job, whatever, but why do we have to, like, act like she's the only person that ever achieved anything? Okay? Sorry. I hope that doesn't come off as, like, hateful, because I don't mean it as that. That's my view on it. So I'm sorry if that hurts anybody's feelings, but I have not ever read the Harry Potter books, and I recently tried to read them again, and I couldn't get into it. So I'm sorry, I just don't understand the whole hype of it. And, sorry, I'll just stick with the series that I like, which I will talk about in my next fact. So, in that same frame of reference, the series that I grew up loving were Babysitter's Club, Sweet Valley High, Nancy Drew, female leads. But I also read some of the Hardy Boys. I read Captain Underpants. I liked Chronicles of Narnia, Laura Ingalls Wilder. So there's other series that I definitely felt a connection to, whereas Harry Potter never, ever, I never got it, I'm sorry. I actually think of books as my friends, so I hope that doesn't make anyone like unsubscribe from my channel, because they are my friends. Like, my dogs are first, and it's like books. So, oh, and then it's my real friends, real life, and all of you guys that are my booktube friends. So I hope that doesn't make anyone unsubscribe from me, knowing that I think of books as friends and they're a little higher up the list than real people. When I found Goodreads, I literally was like over the moon happy, because it was like a social media site about books. Like, you literally connect with people that like to read the same books as you, or like you can see what they're reading. Like, it's like you get to know your friends on a bookish level, and it was like amazing. I was just like, this is the best site ever. So Goodreads is like one of my favorite sites, even after everything that has gone on with my Goodreads page, I still love it. I still love Goodreads. Okay, guys, I have to confess that I feel like book cover cakes are, slightly more delicious than regular cakes. And I would know that because for my 16th birthday, I actually had a book cover cake, done of my first book. The person, like, actually, like, made my real cover into a cake. Which, I know they do that now, but, like, back then, it was, like, really cool to me that, like, my book was on a cake. And they really do taste better. I'm just saying. Probably because it's book based, but That's the main ingredient. And finally, fact 25 is that I would love to get a book deal, like ASAP, for Kickflip My Heart. So if there is any agent, any publisher that is watching this by chance, and you can help me get my novel published, that would be great. If it could happen, like for Christmas, that would be even better. But I'm about to finish my novel, the writing of my rewrite of my two novels that I previously published, and then the addition to it. And I'd love to get a book deal. So please, if you are watching this and you can offer me one, that would be great. But if not, please, if you know somebody that can help me in that way, please share this with them. Thank you. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching all these facts about me and my bookish habits. Until next time, feel free to express yourself. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.